This is Hardy Brute with another run of Noobs Are Coming. Last time we played the Minions build, increasing their size. And today I'd like to play the Turret build. He gains 2% damage for every 1% armor he has, starts with a 20% armor, and plus 3 amount. So we can choose between the Ballista, which is dex damage, the Totem, which is arcane damage, Cactus, which is elemental, and Strength, which scales the punching dummy. So it's a good thing we can scale armor, so we can buff all of our turrets at once. But let's go to difficulty 2, and let's check it out. The punching dummy also has quite a bit of range. I really thought it was going to be a melee turret that I have to run around. But it attacks very quickly, and it goes pretty far. It started a run with a plant totem, but you have to water the totem to activate it, and then it only activates for a certain duration before it disappears. So it was a very gimmicky mechanic, and I didn't really like it. None of these, we should at least try to get armor. And 3% armor. That's 6% more damage. So we're up to 46% damage now. We found a second punching turret, that's pretty good. Let's lock it and let's fill up our shop with good stuff. Found a ballista, nice. And unlike the punching dummy, the ballista is actually affected by amount. But you need 6 total amount in order to double the turrets. But turrets are not considered minions, so that doesn't help. 4% armor, that's really good. And let's just try to roll fill up this last one. And health is pretty good, especially with how much armor we have. So let's lock that and let's move on. So we got 2 turrets now and a third one in the shop. So we're looking pretty good. We also have the built-in mechanic that we can kick our turrets. So we can kind of group them and then just kind of run around them. The 10 damage is definitely going to fall off later. But right now it is destroying them. More pickup range, less max health, that's really bad. Range, none of these help us at all. We're looking for physical, but I don't think we're going to stick to the punching dummies. Get even more armor, 52% now. More damage, and we can buy the turret as well. So we're up to 60% damage. We've got the health locked for next turn, and our damage should be pretty good. Got 3 weapons pretty early on. Our punching now does 11 damage. And the ballista does 16. And it shoots a little bit faster than the punching turret, it looks like. And I'd hoped it'd have more range. But I feel pretty safe in this run. Amount is good, but it's only +1. Let's just get the max health. I don't want to spend all the money on rerolls. So we can buy our locked health. And reroll. These are all really bad. And these also don't help us. So let's move on. We are also playing on difficulty level 2. So there are 20 waves now. And originally we saw a boss on wave 15. So I imagine we might see a second boss on wave 20. And every time we fought the boss, it's been a different boss. So I'm pretty excited to see that. We're taking some 3s and 4s, which isn't a ton of damage. But we don't have any way to heal besides health potions. And they suck pretty bad at healing. They only give you 1 health back. It's early enough that XP will help, so let's get the XP. And we can unlock the totem. It shoots projectiles around itself. So that means it's going to do like a nova or a little circle around it. I am going to avoid the cactuses, because you need the cactuses plus a watering plant. And I didn't think they were very good. We can get cheaper items. Can lock down the max health. And I'm not going to focus on amount or a specific damage type until we get at least 6 turrets. But we lock the totems and we'll have 5 weapons. The totem shooting around itself is actually a cross attack. That's not what I expected at all when I read the description. It does less damage and shoots slower than the rest of the turrets, but it does have 4 bullets, I suppose. So as long as 2 of them hit, it should be doing more damage than the other turrets. But our wave clear is decently good. We do have 4 weapons. Some of the noobs, especially the ones with the beards, but they survive 2 or 3 hits. Nice, so we got increased speed. We can get the max health. We don't have a ton of money for rerolls. And get the armor, which is just damage for us. Can buy the 5th turret. I do like the totems and the ballistas. They're probably the best. The ballistas are just better punching turrets. Make everything cheaper. And let's start the wave. And the totems have potential to hit 4 targets, probably usually 2. And their damage is about the same as the punching turrets. But they can hit multiple targets. The big benefit of the punching turret is that it targets something, but the ballista does that too. We took quite a bit of damage just grouping up our turrets. But once they're all next to each other, we can just kind of run around in a little circle, check the perimeter, and let the turrets do the work. We're still kind of desperately in need of some health regen though. Because even though the damage is little, it doesn't go away. Blocking a spawn gives you 2 souls. I don't really care about that. The size is decent, but I don't think that really helps us. More armor, that's more damage. So up to 72% damage. Plus 2% damage per hit you take. That's decent, but we don't have any way to heal. Got a blue totem. It does 30 damage. And now we're looking for our last turret. Get some more HP and we can still roll one more time. So our ballista does 20 damage. The totems do 30, and the punching does 12. But the punching is still a white, so it could get better. Right now it's pretty outclassed by the ballista though. Group up all of our turrets. And just run around for some cash. Hopefully we can get some HP regen next turn. And this won't be nearly as dangerous. Just want to get that last chest. And we got a decent amount of souls. 170. More damage, less health. That's decent. Less enemies. It's gonna be less money. More size and more damage, that's just free. Get the HP regen. Even +2 is a lot. I found a blue ballista for 32 damage. Just gonna merge our 2 whites. Get the blue. And roll. I got a second blue totem. Up to 34 damage. That's up to 45 damage. That is pretty nice. So we can roll. And we found a green punching dummy. Oh, so the punching dummies may not be out completely. But I do like the shamans, the totems, and the ballista best. The punching dummy looks really cool though. It just feels like it does less damage. And our wave clear is already better, but this is also a smaller wave. Lower tier enemies. Got a random ballista here in the corner. And you can already see our +2 health regen is doing a lot of work for us. We stayed pretty healthy that entire time. More damage. Less amount. That's okay. Just sell that. More heal. I mean, I guess. with the 5% armor. So we're up to 88% damage, and look at this shop. This shop is crazy. Nothing but weapons, and they're all upgrades. The purple ballista does 43 damage. Combine our white punching. And buy the second green one. So then they both do 19 damage. And we can lock the ballista down for next time. So our damage went up quite a bit. Because we have about 100% increased damage. And the purple and blue weapons, they all have really high base damage. So the percentages are going to affect them the most. And our wave clear is pretty nice. We can two-shot the bearded guys. And whenever we come back, there's always a bunch of souls on the ground. But we still need a lot of souls, a lot of upgrades. But we got to 200 this turn. Probably get at least 250. More elemental, more armor, that's good. More percentage damage. That is decent too. It becomes less and less effective the more we get over 100%. Well, let's combine the punching. So now it has 30 damage. And buy the ballista, which the green ballista already does 29 damage. And neither one of those has any scaling. Let's sell the white ballista, buy the blue ballista. A bit more health regen. I don't mind if I do. And none of these ones really help. Found another green totem, but I'm not quite sure I'm going to fit that one in there. So I think I'm just going to keep rolling. And I'm going to lock down the Masochist. So we'll have increased damage every time we take a hit. Which for us is actually not going to be 2%, it's probably going to be about 1% more damage. But it is a unique, and I'll get rid of it. But our ballistas do a lot of damage now. And we have a ton of ballistas. We don't actually own that many ballistas. Why do we have so many? I'm not really complaining. But something definitely happened last time we were in the shop. We do have 3 ballistas now. So maybe we activated the talent. We still only have 2 totems and the 1 punching one. But our wave clear is insane with this many totems. Especially since most of our ballistas are blues and purples. $350 souls. Cooldown, max HP, lose damage. It's actually pretty bad. But I think I'm going to take it. Now let's get more pickups so we don't have to run around so much. And let's continue rolling a bit. The size is okay. I'll make the bullets a little bit bigger. But it's not a huge benefit to us. So let's just roll a bunch. More speed, only for 18, that's not terrible. We can get the speed again. One more reroll, and we found a purple turret, nice. And we can buy the Masochist the next time. But if you look at our ballistas, when we have bow 3, the amount goes to +3. And the amount is currently ×2 because we have 6 amount, I see. So amount makes a huge difference. I didn't actually understand that's what amount meant. When I had +3, +2 amount, it didn't actually affect anything because we hadn't reached that threshold. So I'd been neglecting amount. And as I recall, the totems, they had an amount of requiring 7. So we should at least get multiples of 7 or 6. 12, 12, 14, 21. And then we can neglect it after that. Because the first 7 amount that you get literally doubles your damage. Well, twice the number of turrets. So now we have a new goal, boys. We got 200 souls. Your kickables collect souls for you. That's really good. All of our turrets are kickable. Got a purple turret. We can sell the green one for the purple. I mean, might as well. Get rid of the masochist. And get more HP regen. We found the extra arm. It's a unique, so you can only get one of these. But you lose 12% damage? You can get another turret. That's actually really good for us, because it's really easy for us to scale damage percentage. So the negative isn't even that bad for us. We just got an achievement for breaking through 100% damage. But look at our wave clear. We just have so many turrets. Right now it's mainly the ballistas though that are duplicated. But as soon as we find a bit more amount, the totems, the cross shooters will also duplicate. And every time we get smacked, we do increase our damage. And our healing isn't really that bad. Especially now that potions can heal too. Got 250 souls. Amount +2, less armor. That is still worth it. It's a limited item. More XP, less regen. I don't really want to give up regen. Can collect souls instantly. It's not a bad thing. More armor or more health. Yeah, the health is a blue item, so might as well. +4 amount and more enemies. But that's perfect. One more item slot. And one more blue turret. Let's roll again. Bounces against the wall. I don't think that's really helpful. But we reached an amount of 12. So our shaman totems are now doubled. We have 4 of those. And our ballistas are tripled. So we have 9 of those. And it doesn't look like the punching turret actually doubles in amount. So I'm not quite sure what the point of the punching turret is. Because it's just an inferior ballista. It does have knockback, but if you one-shot, it doesn't really matter. And for once, I don't think I'm afraid of the toads. We have so much armor. It's very unlikely they could one-shot us. And my totems can pick up these souls that run into them, but they don't physically move. So it's not the biggest of benefits. So we get more pickup range, less max health. I don't really like that. I think these are all purple. So we should roll for armor or amount. And right there's +3 amount. Because we broke past 14, we get +2 to all turrets. And the next breaking point is 18. The punching dummy also says nothing about amount. So ideally we should replace those with either another ballista or a totem. Even if they're white ones. Because they'll gain +2. The cactus also says nothing about amount. So there's a blue ballista and a green totem. This is perfect. Merge our punching to purple. And even though we just made the punching purple, I think we're going to get rid of this. And as you can see, the amount is actually ×3. So it's got a base of 1, and they'll have +2. So we have 7 turrets, but we're actually going to have 21 turrets on the map. That's going to be awesome. And look how many turrets we have. And they're all purples and blues. I think we have 1 green now. But our damage is insane. We no longer have to collect the turrets in the middle. And we can kind of actually just stand still if we wanted to. Besides, of course, the toads are out to kill us. But we currently have 39 armor. So how hard is the toad gonna hit? 16 damage, that's still a lot. If we break through the 18 and 21 amount, we can times 4 all of our turrets, and we'll have 28 turrets on the map. And I doubt we'd have enough time to get to times 5. And this is another map where the density is pretty bad. We're killing almost everything instantly, and we still have barely 200 souls. A lifesteal, but a lot less healing. Found a blue totem. Still got 4 purple. Turrets move towards you. I don't think that's a benefit for us. It was initially. A lot more HP, but the enemies have more HP. That doesn't sound bad. Minion protection. Tanking minions that bounce off the walls and attracts enemies as well as certain other minions. Not sure what that even means. So let's move on. We're fighting the stack noob. And look how many there are. It reminds me of the stacking rats from Sculptlings. It would also be very cool if the stack got smaller and smaller the lower they got. So at the end you're just fighting one noob. And our damage is decent, but we don't have a lot of control over it. We can just kind of run around and lead them to our turrets. He's about half dead. We've used about half the time, so it's going to be close. In this one case, sucking all our turrets towards us would have actually helped us kill the boss. But it would have been terrible for farming. Which is kind of the entire point of the game. It's a lot easier to do damage when he's charging up his dash than standing still. And he doesn't take a lot of damage when he dashes through everything. But we're just shy of killing him. That's sad. So I'd really like more amount. Try to get past at least 18. Although 7% armor, that's 14% more damage. So we're up to 93%. And let's get the dex damage for our ballista. We could buy the arcane, but it costs 41. And the increase in armor reduces our dex that we just got. And these aren't all that great. I'm trying to get some more purple weapons. I'm trying to get the amount for sure. There's an amount. So we're up to 17. We need one more amount. But the last few amounts we've bought have been limited or unique items. So I don't know outside of level ups how easy it really is to level up amount. But we only need one more amount. So we should get an opportunity to at least get that. We now have 47 health, a ton of armor, and we scale damage when we get hit. But it's actually kind of hard for us to get hit. Things just die too fast. But wave 16 here, it's mainly big bad guys. There's very few tiny noobs. And the ninja guy. And the Sork with the staff. Those are both new units that I haven't really seen before. And we got around 200 souls. I wish the bigger units would be worth more souls. At least to balance out the density. None of these. Just need a little bit more amount. I found a blue totem, so we can sell our green one. We got another blue ballista, so we can merge those next wave. We're on to wave 17 of 20. Previously, the game would have ended at wave 15. But we're not really in any danger here. We cover so much area. And we can almost just stand still. If we had a bit more regen. And if the toads didn't come just straight for us. And a lot of these enemies look kind of like modifications from the bosses. The Ice Wizard or the Stacker. We also fought a Rampart Castle looking guy last time. But we still only managed to get around 200 souls. So we're not making a lot of profit. We leveled up, so hopefully we get some amount. Plus 2 amount, perfect. So we broke past the 18. And we get 4 more turrets from the ballistas. More rerolls. A purple totem. Just lock this down. We can always sell the blue one. More dexterity. That's pretty good for our ballistas. And let's move on. So now we have 25 turrets. Because we should have 4 more ballistas, and we had 21 before. And if we get 21 amount, we should get up to 28 turrets. 7 times 4. But at that point, it's not going to really increase our damage all that much. It's just going to look really cool. There's a charging knight now. Oh, there are a few new units that we haven't seen before. But that charging knight reminds me of the Leroy Jenkins. He just has a lot more health. And we took about 6 damage when he hit us. We're gonna get about 250 souls this time. More pickup? Sure. More speed, but it's dependent on your size. We have a lot of size. We're already at 130 size. So we have all purples, but 1 crossbow. 1 ballista. Looking for a bit more amount. And our final ballista. We found 2 blue totems. We could have gone that route. But let's go on. This is the final wave before the Wave 20 boss. And we destroy this one. Lots of little enemies. At least till the frog comes. They must have escaped from the Frog Legs game that we played. Yeah, but they always come straight for you. And our damage can't get all that much higher. Certainly if we get some dex and arcane damage it could. But we got 6 of 7 purple turrets. We got plus 4 amount. And we went from double damage when we got 2 turrets to 50% damage increase when we had 3 turrets, and a 33% damage increase when we had 4 turrets. The increase in overall damage becomes less and less because we have so many turrets already. We found a purple max health, but let's just take the damage with the armor. So let's roll. This is the final shop, so whatever we get we're kinda stuck with. We found a legendary. Plus 1 attack slot, but less amount. So we're gonna lose 4 ballistas. But if I buy the green totem, we'll get 3 totems back. Which still doesn't make sense, but it's kind of future-proofing. If we had a future beyond this wave, which we do not. But it's a legendary, I had to buy it. We're fighting the Nightmare. He looks like a swell guy, he's smiling at us. Ooh, he drops a row of bombs. I like his mechanic a lot, it's pretty fun. And the bombs don't actually hurt that much. We have 45 armor, so I imagine we take about half damage. And our damage has gotten quite a bit better, since it seems like we're going to be able to kill this boss. It's about the 30-second mark, and he's already dead. Just a few more hits. Gets the guaranteed chest. Well, I definitely understand how amounts work now, and how important it is to get them on the level ups. because the shops themselves seem to only have limited and unique items for the amount. But even with that, we still got times 3, times 4 on a lot of our turrets. So this was a really fun run. And we completed difficulty 2. We had 90% damage, 45 armor. And the armor is still a 1-for-1, 45% less damage. And we got some new content. The fragile hammer, 2% chance the equipment will be destroyed. That's not good. Plus 5% enemy count. More spike damage and more armor. We got a new boss. 80% chance to find more potions, plus 3 to healing. More speed and damage when you drink a potion. That's pretty cool. A 5% chance to turn the enemy into a golden statue. Our ballista was up to 48 damage. And our totem was up to 45 damage. Well, I hope you enjoyed. I'll definitely play at least one more of these. If you'd like to see more, let me know. Later.